I welcome you all in my video session. I am Shruti Karkata, lecturer in EC Department in Xavier Institute of Polytechnic and Technology, Namkumarachi. In this session, we will see the introduction of microprocessor and the pin diagram of microprocessor with explanation of each pin. So the question is, what is microprocessor? A microprocessor is a CPU in a form of chip. That is, we can call it as a CPU, that is Central Processing Unit, the main part of computer. The microprocessor is also called as a brain of microcomputers because everything is done by microprocessor itself, just like human brain. Suppose a brain is dead, we can't do anything. In the same way, if microprocessor is not there in a computer, we cannot do anything. This name resembles microprocessor. Micro means smaller, small processor, that is in the form of chip. Now we can see the features of Intel 8085. It is a 8-bit microprocessor. It is a single chip NMOS device with 40 pins. It has multiplex address and data bus. It works on 5-volt DC power supply. The maximum clock frequency is 3 MHz, while minimum frequency is 500 kHz. It provides 74 instructions with 5 different addressing modes. It provides 16 addressing lines, so it can access 2 to the power of 16, that is 64 kilobytes of memory. It generates 8-bit input-output address, so it can access 2 to the power of 8, 256 input ports. It provides 5 hardware interrupts: TRAP, RST 5.5, RST 6.5, RST 7.5, INTR. It provides accumulator, 1 flag register, 6 general purpose registers, and 2 special purpose registers. It provides serial lines SID, SOD, so serial peripherals can be interfaced with 8085 directly. Pin diagram. In this, the first and second pin, that is X1 and X2, these are the crystal clocks or crystal oscillators, and it operates at 3 MHz and crystal frequency is 6 MHz. The third pin, reset out. So it is an reset microprocessor pin that comes again in standing condition. It resets all the pins again. Now fourth and fifth pin, SOD and SID. This shows serial output data and serial input data. That means the output and input data are transferred serially. Now we can see the sixth pin, TRAP. It is input pin that shows non-maskable interrupt. The priority of this pin is high among all the other 40 pins. Now the 7th, 8th and 9th pin, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5. These are restart pins. These are also input pins. These pins are vector interrupt pins which transfer processor control to a particular memory location. Its priority is higher than INTR, which is the 10th pin. Works according to their priority. If all the 3 pins are having a signal, then RST 7.5 will first execute its signal, then followed by RST 6.5 and RST 5.5, because RST 7.5 is having higher priority than RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. Now moving to the 10th pin, INTR. Interrupt request it is a normal interrupt. If a processor is doing its work and if a key is pressed from a keyboard, then the processor will stop its work and then clear the key which is being pressed as an interrupt, then it will clear the request and then it will start its main operation again. Now moving to the 11th pin, INTA, interrupt acknowledgement pin. This shows output signal. When an input is added from outside, then the processor will send an acknowledgement to the processor. It is ready for the work and remove the interrupt first, and then it will come to its main function. Now 12th to 19th pin, AD0 to AD7. It is address data line. It is a multiplexed pin. Here the address and data lines are together. To divide this pin, we use latch and data buffers. To separate the address, latch is used, and to separate the data buffers are used. Now the 20th pin, VSS. It provides ground reference. If any chip shows a voltage, if you have to show a voltage of any chip, it will be showed with the reference of 20th pin, that is VSS, which is grounded. Now we will move to the 21 to 28 pin, which is a normal address pin, A8 to 850. These are simple address pins. There is no data in these pins. We do not need latch in this because we do not have to separate data from it. Now 21 to 28 pin shows higher order address. Now moving to the 30th pin, that is ALE, address latch enable. Pin 12 to 19, both address and data. In these pin, both address and data are available. ALE is connected to the latch. Now latch separates address from data. Clock pulse are used in this pin. That is, when ALE is high, that is ALE address latch enable is 1, latch is enabled and valid address is received in the address pin. Now pin 31 to 32, read and write. Here the 32 pin read, it is active low. That means when read is 0, it indicates either from input output device or from memory device. When input output is 1, it is done from read device, from memory. Now 31 pin, write pin. It is active low. When write is 0, that is low, it indicates either from input output device or memory device data is being written. Now 33 to 34 pin. Here the 34 pin is input output memory. It shows input output memory. If 34 pin is low, then the function is performed by memory. If it is higher, then the function is performed by input output pin. That is, if IO memory is 0, memory performs read or write function. If IO or memory is 1, then the input output pin performs read or write memory. Now 35 to 36 pin. 35th pin is reset in. When a signal comes, then the reset in pin is low and performs counter set at 0. Buses will be in tri-state and microprocessor will be reset. 36 pin. It is ready. It is an input pin. It helps the microprocessor to be ready for read and write function. Now 37th pin, that is clock. It generates clock pulse. Here it controls each and every pin's system, the timing. It controls the pulse timing of each and every pin. Now pin 38, hold acknowledgement, and pin 39, hold. 38 pin will work after 39th pin. Hold pin, the 39th pin. If another master wants to use the bus of a processor, then the master will send a hold request to processor. Processor will send a signal, that is to the 38th pin, as hold acknowledgement. This will show that the processor has freed the buses for another master. Now the last pin, 40th pin, VCC. It is used for power supply and plus 5 volt is supply is used here. The 29th pin and 33 pin, which is S0 and S1, these are status pins. When S0 is low and S1 is high. I hope you like my video. Thank you.